So a lot of people were hating on this Playboy Cardi snippet, a whole lot of red V2 fetus voice. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but like it was very polarizing. Some people were like, you're not a real Cardi fan if you're not messing with this new sound of the fetus voice, the baby voice. Everyone else is like, yo, chill. Like, just like, you don't just because you don't like a certain sound doesn't mean that you're not a fan. And also, why do you care if someone else ain't a fan? Like that's the weirdest insult to me. You're not a real fan, bruh. You don't suck Cardi's dick as much as me, bruh. Nah, bro, he went 7 inches down my throat, bruh. You're only putting 2 in you. That's what that sounds like to me when somebody says that. But anyway, so let's check out this snippet. People were hating on this, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta listen to it again to see if I like how I feel about it. But a whole lot of red V2. This is from 2020. All right, chat, what are we thinking? This is the real Cardi. Yo, okay. This is what I think really happened. So during a whole lot of red V2, everyone was so thirsty for music that people were just gonna accept whatever. Now, there were some honest people who said they didn't like it necessarily. Also, Cardi dropped At Me with the fetus voice kinda, and it got a lot of hate, even though I actually liked that song. I just want to point that out. I've always said that I liked it. So he saw that it got a lot of hate, so he kind of like pivoted and went towards like the vamp shit, which actually dropped a whole lot of red. But again, I think that most people who really like, because they're even under this, there's like, wow, my goat, or like, it sounds beautiful. Like people were just acting like they liked it, or they believe themselves to like it because they were so starved of food. It's like you're in the Sahara Desert, right? We're in the middle of whole lot of red rollout. It's 2020. Cardi hasn't dropped in 2 years. Meanwhile, he said in 2019 he's dropping in 6 weeks or 60 days or whatever, which is what, 8 weeks? So you're just waiting on it, like, oh shit, like it's any day now, it's any day. Ronnie Lee is posting Instagram stories of red moons and shit, being like, it's coming soon. Meanwhile, it's been a whole year since the first time she said that. So you're in the Saharan desert, you're waiting on a drop of water, you keep seeing mirages, all these whole lot of red teases, and finally you see like a little bucket of water, which is exactly this, or not even water. You get like what's something that tastes really bad? Like, I'm not gonna say shit because it's not shit, but it's like I don't know, a bucket of like dead rats, but they're clean. Okay, so you're like, oh shit, I haven't eaten, or maybe it's a bucket of blood, but the blood has water in it. So you drink all the blood and it tastes good at the time because you're like, I haven't drank in like 3 days. So you like it then, but then when you get to the mainland and you're fine, you have your regular life, you drink the blood, you're like, this shit is nasty. Like, get me some Gatorade or Prime or chocolate milk. Right? So now we're in the days where we're actually fed. I mean, maybe not, but actually Cardi just dropped 5 times. So now that we actually have real music, hearing these snippets, in my opinion, you're like, okay, what were we doing back then? It's cool. It was an iconic era just because it's memorable, going back to the Cardi fetus voice, but I do feel like it was a little bit extreme. that he was rapping in that voice, as opposed to like he had the baby voice on like Kid Cudi and some other songs for V1, but V2 was a little bit like what's the word, an acquired taste, a fine wine. He blabbing, this don't correlate at all, we barely have music from this time. Bro, you just got 5 songs. Okay, 5, throw it, whatever you want to say, I don't care. I more so meant like, looking back, you may not like V2 as much as the official music that he dropped. Also, it is, come on, it is a normal concept that you like things that are a little bit more rare. And so when this is why a lot of leaks in the Juice WRLD community, Uzi, Yeet, or Cardi, the fans, the underground fans, or like enthusiasts or super fans of these artists, they like the leaks more just because it's like a little bit more rare. It shows like maybe a more raw version of that artist. So I get it, but like objectively, it might not be actually better than the official music that they release. And in this situation, I do feel like V2 was like that, although it probably did have some really good songs on there, but it wasn't necessarily my favorite era. I liked V1 more. And I think just, yeah, like Goku or like Shawty in Love or Neon, or I'm trying to even think of Buffy the Body. What was Pyru, Boulder Crest? That was with Offset, right? There was so many, bro. That was originally the reason that Cardi blew up in the first place. I know he already had some traction with Magnolia from Self-Titled, and like I loved that project, but he didn't really get, I don't know, he wasn't like necessarily solidified. They just knew him as like Ayo Pierre or like New York I Millie Rock. Like if you talk to a regular person on the street, that's the only thing they knew from Cardi, really. And Die Lit was cool, you know, it sold well, 60K or something like that. But I feel like what got him to get the same amount of hype for a whole lot of Red that he did was because of the leaks, and we all know that. That was what blew him up to the mainstream. Especially the Kid Cudi leak, because that was the #1 song on Spotify under someone else's name. So again, that was like low-key bigger than any of the other songs that he had, other than maybe Magnolia, because that was on the radio. But like on Spotify as a leak, like it was just a cultural shift right there. I'm not saying V2 he wasn't spitting though. Like if you like V2, go ahead, I'm not hating on you at all, I'm just giving you my opinion. Homicide. Money and Drugs, Bad Gang. Yeah, I remember those. I mean, remember, those were actually supposed to be on the album, but then they kind of got cut. Like what Rockstar Made had Travis Scott. I was told, and take this with a grain of salt, I think I've already said this on stream, so it's not even like a secret, but I said, there's someone told me Money and Drugs, I think, had like Post Malone. I was like, that shit don't make sense at all. So maybe they were just like capping for whatever reason, trying to plant some false information and make me look stupid on stream, but I don't give a shit if I'm wrong, so that doesn't matter. Who was the other one? There was Kanye, Travis, Post Malone, but Kanye ended up being on it. Future was on Teen X. That was one of my favorite songs on there. Yeah, but V1 had classics. You can't tell me otherwise. That's what it is. Tall Sprite, yeah, true. But wasn't that like V3, if I recall? Maybe it was V2, I don't know.